Book of Boba Fett, episode 6, right? I lost track now that they added another episode. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they added another episode. They added episode 7, which is next week's episode. Surprise, surprise. That was the rumor, and it happened to be true. So this was awesome. This was a big episode. What you guys think about it?
I really don't know what to think about it. I'm excited. I'm upset.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you like? What was there something that kind of drove you a little upset? Like you said, you're upset. What made you kind of like?
Well, I feel like I want more Boba. It's about Boba Fett. And so far, I love The Mandalorian. And so he seems to be in at least the past 2 episodes. And then near the end, when they have to make that choice, that's what makes me confused and upset to be like, oh, no.
I agree.
Yeah. At least they showed Book of Boba Fett in this episode.
I know.
Last week.
2 whole episodes had Boba Fett. All right, that's what we'll do.
Yeah. So I'm there with you. Like, it's called Book of Boba Fett. Nah.
Not like watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah. I felt like Disney is like, oh, we got this old crusty toy with the dent in it, and then like, oh, the new shiny toy. Yeah. So yeah, I'm there with you. What about you, Brian?
I thought this episode was amazing. I was happy we actually saw Boba Fett. I was also confused that there's so much Mandalorian. It was so heavy Mandalorian. It was, great. It was all the things that we saw from season 2. Grogu, the deep fake was amazing. Seeing Luke Skywalker, and it looked like Luke Skywalker 95% of the time. It was amazing. It did such a great job. The episode itself, I don't even want to go into like a breakdown, but it just was so well done. And I loved all the characters they brought out, all the new characters they brought out in episode 6. That pisses me off right there. Why you bring all these great people in episode 6? Why wouldn't you do it earlier? Why would we have only 2 episodes of flashbacks? Then we have 2 episodes of Mandalorian in the middle, and then 2 episodes to finish the war. That would have been much better for me. But just of course they didn't, and now we got to deal with one helter skelter episode, or at least I think it's gonna be one crazy episode to try to do a whole war. But someone on this panel might think something else that might be going on.
I don't think they're even gonna start the war. For sure they're not gonna finish it. So I got a cat walking around everywhere. They're not gonna finish the war. I think they're gonna maybe start it, and then it's gonna happen. Mandalorian season 3 is gonna be a war. I don't know. I'm kind of lost on what to expect anymore. I didn't expect to see Luke Skywalker or Grogu or Mandalorian this much either. Going in. And now it's all over the place. All over the place with it now. And it's like, I love it, but I'm also confused on why they did the things they did. So it's like Book of Boba, but we're gonna squeeze in 2 episodes of Mandalorian in there. So I don't know.
I do like the droids that they showed, the ones that look like little ants.
Yeah, those are
or
cool.
giant ants, I guess.
Yeah, those had to have been new. I don't think I've seen them before. I don't know, but those are pretty cool. I like what happened with he gets there, and then he like R2D2 like he's like follow me, and he's like shuts off, and they build a bench. Like, all right,
walk away.
I'm going to sleep. I don't know. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Very unexpected. They didn't really say like how long it was all kind of happening, because he was training and he had already left, and then he like somehow started doing all the jumping and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was like, cool. Is this all in one day? Is he learning all of this like so quickly?
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. I was kind of, I don't want them to set up the pre or the sequels trilogy with what's going on now. I don't want them to make sense on why Luke did what he did in the movies, because that's not, for me, that's not Luke. You know, I think they call him like something else. Like it's not Luke Skywalker, it's like John Skywalker, because like they just redid the character that much. So I don't know. I don't want them to explain the sequels in this. Like do your own thing, you know. Leave the sequels be trash and you be good. So
yeah, it seems like it's causing confusion as far as like, okay, like what's going to happen with the students and in the future when, like in the movies, when he talks about his students then. So it's like, what happened to Grogu? Is Grogu not a student? Like,
right. And Martin says, do you think they'll bring back Cara Dune because of all of this? Probably not. I don't think so. They once they split up, Gina Carano and Disney, it wasn't a civil split up.
Amicable.
Yeah. Because like Disney and or Marvel and James Gunn split up, and then that was kind of good, like civil. Like everyone's like, I get it, and then they brought him back. Where Gina Carano got fired and she went on a whole tour of blasting how bad Disney is. So I don't think it's gonna happen. But I think they have so many other characters now where Cara Dune was kind of so small compared to like Luke and Ahsoka. Where I'm like, ooh. Yeah, so
and they brought her back for like such a small time.
Yeah. She didn't really ever add too much to the story anyway. I think she was a little bit more important. Maybe they'll recast, but yeah, exactly. Recast Cara Dune. Extra muscle for the war. Maybe.
I think we have enough. I think they have enough of these guys that are bounty hunters that are going to be around.
Yeah. All right. So I have a theory that I want to tell you guys, and I want you guys to let me know what you think. So at the end of this episode, I already told Brian, super pissed off at Luke Skywalker for making Grogu choose. Such a dick move. I hated it because it happened to Luke. When Luke was training on Dagobah, and they're like, if you go save your friends, you'll never be a Jedi. And he's like, all right, peace, I'm out, and went to go save his friends. And then the next movie, he's still training to be a Jedi. So,
yep.
Okay. And then he does it to Grogu. He's like, make a choice, you know, which really pissed me off. And obviously, you know where Grogu's going to go, because we never seen Grogu in any of the sequels and stuff like this, was, you know, in any of the books or anything. So he's going to go back with Mando. Do you think Grogu will be the true wielder of the Darksaber? He's Jedi, and he's gonna be pretty much Mandalorian. The Darksaber was for the only Mandalorian Jedi, and until we get Grogu, who's going to be a foundling / Jedi, possibly one of the most powerful, because he's the same as Yoda, who Yoda was the most powerful Jedi. Well, minus Anakin.
So can the Darksaber be resized? Because isn't it like twice as big as him?
Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, all right. Here are the issues we have. So, yes, his size, him trained to be a Jedi, but he has to win the Darksaber from somebody to be the rightful heir to the Darksaber. So unless, you know, Mando's going to lose it to someone like his name is Cad Bane, he loses it to, you know, but he's not a Mandalorian. So I don't know who's going to beat Mando with the Darksaber in order for Grogu to be able to win it rightfully. For him to be the leader, the one that is the rightful heir to the Darksaber.
I was surprised he's actually able to keep it after he said that his helmet was removed.
Right. But also, I mean, Darth Maul had it, you know, and he ruled, and he was not even
Never had
trying to be a Mandalorian. Yeah. So yeah, but I did think that I thought that was weird too. They're like, oh well, you're no longer a Mandalorian. He's like, all right, well, I'm taking this armor and this saber and see y'all later. So I don't know.
So
But-
what do you think about Cad Bane? Because I mean, I was doing more research. I didn't know it as much as I could, but I did research on him and seeing that he's the one who taught. Was it Boba Fett? Was he
Boba
the one that taught him how to become a bounty hunter?
A
and
bounty
showed
hunter.
him all the stuff. I mean, so this is not just a little bit like a little snippet. This is going to be a big thing. Him being against him, and where do you think that's going to go in the story? I mean, that's what I don't understand. How you're going to have one episode to even clear all this stuff up? Why would you bring him in right now and then be able to try to clear it all up? It just doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Sandy?
This is the part that gets me confused because I'm like, okay, I haven't seen a lot of these characters before. Maybe I don't remember them, and now they're all, I guess, all gonna have one giant war, is what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like a lot of different sides.
Mhm.
Like, whose side are you on? Don't mess with these people. Mess with us, and we'll pay you more. And so that I think that's the confusion that I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the Filoni verse, which is what everyone is dubbing it, because it's a lot of Clone Wars, the animated Clone Wars, which is where Cad Bane's from. They haven't yet got into Rebels, but that's going to be the Ahsoka story. I think it's going to be more Rebels based, with Sabine and Ezra. But Cad Bane's like from the Clone Wars kind of stuff, and he was kind of a badass. Like he like even like Jedis couldn't really keep him trapped, So he's a pretty cool character. How did you think he looked? He went from strictly animated, to now being live action.
He looks
What do
pretty
you guys
scary.
think about? Yeah, right. Yeah, he's cool. He was a very cowboy kind of Clint Eastwood kind of guy. That when they first made him in the cartoon, that's what they were kind of going for. Kind of a quiet, badass.
Yeah, because the Marshal didn't seem like he knew him, but he was like, get everybody inside. Like, he was afraid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he heard him. I think he has like they know of this guy. Like, okay, Cad Bane is coming. He is the bounty hunter in these parts. We know. I thought he looked amazing. I mean, he kind of looked like a mix between like the Pikes and and Vader.
I thought it was a Pike.
Having the breathing apparatus around, and I think that was really cool. And he looked cool, the red eyes, and boy.
There's some pictures of him in the Clone Wars show, the cartoon. So he's fighting, he's fighting Kenobi. This shows kind of like how bad he is. Here, he trapped this baby Ahsoka when she was little. So he's cool. But I mean, he went from looking like this and this to what we have now. On the show, which is
pretty close. I mean, that was still pretty hard.
Was it supposed to be impressive that he was walking from what appeared to be the middle of the desert, where everybody else seems to like fly in?
Yeah,
this isn't him.
And then he just walked. Yeah, and he just walked right back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it definitely gave me that cowboy vibes. Like it was hazy in the distance. And he's just walking in, so it was very old school, like Western kind of style. Obviously, especially with the little quick draw battle that they had in it, which was cool. But yeah, I think that's what it was. I mean, right off the bat, as soon as you saw the little silhouette of him, I knew what it was. I like screamed like a little girl. My girlfriend's like, "What? Who is it? Who is it?" So I was like, "Yeah, yeah."
That's probably the same reaction that Martin gave.
Yeah, yeah. It's let me see if I can shrink it. He looks pretty badass.
Yeah, that's the one.
Pretty badass. Yeah. Yeah,
his nose is creepy.
Yeah, he has like that weird, like flat kind of nose. So there's like cartoon to live action. He has that weird snarl.
Nose, he's breathing. has a breathing apparatus. That he
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
need.
That's true. I never even thought about that.
He doesn't need a nose
But-
or not. Any of that stuff.
But I think he's gonna be pretty cool. He's definitely a guy, like you said, he trained Boba Fett when he was little to be a bounty hunter.
Mhm.
I hope they get to fight, which would be super cool. That would be super cool if they actually get to like fight. So here's a little card I found. The most dangerous and effective bounty hunter during the Clone Wars, always prepared, carried twin, blaster, pistols, and many other tools that helped him in the hunt. So that's
He's fast too.
Dude, I was surprised Cobb lost so fast. I was like, come on, Cobb.
I know. Is he? I hope he's not dead. They made it seem like he might not be dead.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think?
Yeah, they didn't even look at the other guy.
I think
The
Cobb.
other guy was a dummy.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, just leave him alone. Just kind of just rolled him over. Let's keep on going. Like, no, come back, Cobb. And I think they're gonna rush to Boba Fett's little chamber or whatever and put him in the water or whatever. Yeah, so help him heal, get him ready, and then he'll be willing to fight. Once again, that's another obstacle for having this war for this next episode. It seems like really, really hard to be able to do those things.
Yeah. One, they're not having the war until season 3 of Mandalorian, or 2, it's a very, very short war. Because you got to figure they have the Power Ranger, wannabes on their little motorcycles, with their colorful motorcycles. Evil Chewbacca, Boba, and then Mando. Yeah. So it was like, Chrysanthemum is pretty badass though. Like all the stories from him. But it was like you have a handful. What happened?
Oh, maybe that's why they introduced Grogu like now, so that way he's going to be like at the very end and be like, "Okay, everybody, stop! I have this saber, and we're all done here."
Yeah.
Or Grogu comes in just badass, like I'm a Jedi, and I'm gonna pick up all these things, and they're all dead now. And I'm gonna pick all these things up, and they're all dead now. And I'm gonna go to my dad and ask him to pick me up, and give me a hug.
Yeah.
And then another.
That's what I think is gonna happen.
Boba Fett's not even gonna be in the episode. Like, again,
he's up in his tower watching everything happen.
Yeah. Exactly how I play it. But
oh, what about the cantina blowing up or whatever that little bar place is?
Yeah.
Espa being most you can't.
R.I.P. Jessica or Jennifer Beals.
You just can't be doing that. I was upset.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was like instantly a fan favorite. Like people loved her. Like one, like it's Jessica or Jennifer Beals. So, as a Twi'lek.
Twilight.
Well, I'd be happy too if I went in there and came out with a helmet full of gold.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of, I was upset about that. I was like, really? I don't know.
But they don't show the outcome. Like, is she gone?
She was right
just half burned.
I know. I was like, maybe she ducked under a table or something. I don't know. Unless you see them die.
Finally seeing Luke being around for the first, like finally being a movie, seeing them both together. How'd you feel about that?
I don't know. What you want to go first, Sandy?
Well, I'm still blown away by the animation and the voice, like even the voice.
That was Mark Hamill.
I find that hard to believe, but also believable.
Yeah. Because I was thinking the same thing, and me and my girlfriend were talking about. I was like, "Is that his voice?" Because it sounds like young Mark Hamill, but also Mark Hamill's a voice actor, so if he can be the Joker, I'm sure he could sound like young himself. But he is credited in the credits for the show, for the episode.
Yeah, Martin. So maybe it all ends with a bunch of proton bombs. With a big could be. I don't know. I don't see it being that easy. It's gonna be something silly. Very Filoni. Filoni likes to have nice things wrapped up in bows at certain points. So
that's what he's gonna do. But yeah. So what were you saying about Luke? You know,
Well, Ahsoka and Luke being there was awesome, and seeing how Ahsoka accepted Luke, accepting Grogu. You know what I'm saying? Because she would not train him. He said maybe another one would. So, and then seeing him build the temple was pretty cool. Knowing that Grogu would be his first student, how that might have changed things would be so awesome. And what I loved about it was that he said, "I'm not really training him. Grogu's just remembering his training." So I thought that was important too. So maybe he doesn't need all the training that Luke wants to give him, and that's going to buy into his decision. I've already been through all this training. I've probably been higher than you are, that you've gone through, because Luke didn't go through that much, because when he was faced with that choice, he went back to his friends. So now
when they
Luke
go,
doing the same thing to Grogu.
And when they go in his memories, you can see that he's already with Jedis and they're trying to protect him.
Yeah. Oh, every time they show Order 66, it hits a heartstring. I'm not a big fan of the prequels, but when they did Order 66, if that doesn't make you want to cry, like legit, and seeing them do again, and I thought, I'm like, is he gonna see his dad through Grogu's eyes? I was waiting for that. I'm like, is Anakin gonna walk up, and like, that's fucked up. That'd be so messed up for like Luke to see that, because I'm assuming Luke saw that, right? Because he did the little vision thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, and also Grogu's older. What happened?
Whenever I see Order 66, I just think of like all of Chewie's family, and I'm just like, oh no.
Oh yeah. That was rough, man. For being well, at the time it wasn't a Disney movie, but just being a Star Wars thing, it was just like, how are they gonna do this? Where 1 minute there's all these Jedi, and then the next, like, there's none. And that's what they did. And I was like, why? So but also, like you were saying, Grogu's older. Grogu's 50, and Luke is maybe 30 at this point. Exactly. I mean, he was supposed to be 16 when he first met with Kenobi, after all the training, and now maybe he's like 30, 35. So Grogu's got at least 15 years on him.
So he's probably been through more training than Luke could even show him. The only thing Luke could do is help him remember. So that's why I was like, well, I mean, is this even a choice for Grogu? And maybe Grogu understands you need to have that familial bond. It's not necessary. It's necessary for you to not have any bond at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like it builds that tension that Anakin went through. To be like, okay, I was forced to forget about my mom and my family, and then bad things happen to his mom, and then he goes crazy.
Yeah, real good point.
Yeah, that's the thing why I said Luke is a dick for that, because it was like, you think he would understand that, it's like what Brian was saying, he made the choice between being with his, stay and train or go save your friends, and he, without second guessing himself, went right to saving his friends, and
to Yoda. Like,
yeah. So I hope it's not the end of training. Also, I feel like Grogu can bring Mando to Luke and be like, hey, listen, he's got this lightsaber and you're a Jedi. How about we all help each other out here? So, but yeah, that was just kind of like really upsetting for Luke. I was like, really, dude? I was like, you're literally connected with your sister, where you can like read each other's minds, because they did that at the end of at the time it's what, episode 5? Return.
She felt him. Yeah, it was
the Strike Backs. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So he has a connection. Yeah. And I mean, Kenobi had connections, and you saw what trying to avoid your emotions does with your father.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You lose an arm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of upsetting. But there was a cool, I can't find it now. There's a cool, like, drawing I always saw of baby Mando Or like once people saw Grogu, they started making like these cartoons of like a older, like a Yoda, but in like Mandalorian armor and stuff like that. Because they even said in the episode that their beliefs are contradictory to each other. Where Jedi is like you cut everything off and blah blah blah, which is stupid. And then the Mandalorians were like, no, we're brotherhood and we're loyal and this and that. Yeah. But then it's like, well, how did the guy, I can't think of his name, the Vizsla guy, who created the Darksaber, how did he become a Jedi then? So it's possible for a Mandalorian to be a Jedi, so it can't be that like battling beliefs.
Yeah, but what is I think as time goes on, people think what they think the cores are, and are those, and then they forget how you could be more than one thing. And I think that's what Grogu's going to have the opportunity to do, show that you can be more than one thing. You can still feel the Force. Because I like what you said. I think Mando is Force sensitive.
Possibly.
And that could be possible too. And that's why he can possibly yield the Darksaber. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of things. Once again, there's so many unanswered questions because you brought in a whole nother show on episode 5. So like there's so many unanswered questions. So as you said, there's no way this Book of Boba Fett war is going to even. I think you're right. It might not even start.
Yeah,
it might be like something like, Cad and Boba, have a little fight, whatever. Cobb comes up and says, "We'll join you," and they have it all the war totally set up. And then Grogu comes and he said, "I'm going to join the fight," and then the show ends.
Yeah, and then picks up right in episode 1 of Mando 3, season 3. Yeah. So real quick, I want to show this, and I really, really like this because it kind of is more Jedi than what's going on in the show. So it's a cool drawing of like supposed to be Grogu older. So he's got like the Mando thing here, got the skull, the little ball, which is cute, and so somebody wrote this too. So it just says, Master Grogu, I thought you're not supposed to form attachments. He responds, attachments do not lead to the dark side. Fear of losing the attachments do. And he says, I don't understand. How can you be attached but not fear to lose? He goes, treasure those around you while you can, and rejoice when they return to the Force. And he goes, death is a natural part of life. So it's just like, he goes, I have to live knowing that life and death are inseparable. It's, it sounds impossible. So that's why it's like, it seems like he can find balance between the two things, and this is like I legit, like, this could be something that the show really does take, and it ends with like, no Padawan, it's not impossible, it is the way. I'm like, that's cool. That's so cool. It's like,
that is so
that already
cool.
gives me goosebumps.
What if the war does start and then Grogu dies in the war and Mando, and that's what sets up Mando season 3?
There will be riots. People in
the streets.
People in Disney just screaming. Like, I mean, there's no way, man. There's no way that Disney's gonna kill off Grogu, like, with all the money he makes. No way.
I bought many Baby Yoda stuff. I mean, stuffed animals and sheets and shirts and
I got the one that you touch and he'll start doing noises, or even if you walk by, he'll start doing shit. And like, I'll leave it on the table and the dog will walk by and he'll like reach out to the dog, and the dog like freaks out, jumps back and sniffs it. Yeah.
That's
so
fun.
So I don't know. Anything else before we move on?
I'm just going to repeat that he's a dick, making him use that choice. He's such a dick. Such a dick move.
I also feel like the Mandalorian is starting to like droids, because when R2-D2 turned off, he didn't say anything like, "Oh, stupid droid," or
That's right. I forgot about that.
Real good point. I love that. And I'm gonna say this last thing before we go. If Boba doesn't ride the Rancor, I'm riding. Plain and simple, I'm riding. can't set up that thing and then never do it, never deliver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or never
I think-
show Boba in the episodes.
Boba does it not in all 3 episodes it ends. What's that?